how are you? I hope you're feeling good. Today, let's talk about presentation about lesson 1 on unit 3. I hope you will take it. And if you have any questions, please don't be shy. I'll answer your questions privately on WhatsApp with all pleasure. This is Ms. Isra Saad from Science Team at New Generation Language School. Our session for today is about living organisms, diversity, and principles of their classification. So, do you know that, my friend, there are many examples of living organisms such as animals, plants, and microorganisms. And first, we are going to talk about the diversity of animals. When you pay a visit to Giza, you may observe the variety among animals and a lot of different characteristics such as the size, the environment where animals live, the shape, and finally the way of feeding. Again, the size, the environment where animals live, the shape, the way of feeding. First, we are going to talk about the size. We have two sizes. Number 1, big animals, and number 2, small animals. Big animals such as elephant and rhinoceros. And number 2, about the small animals such as rabbit, rat, and lizard. Number 2, about the environment where animals live. First, animals live in water and animals live on land. Animals live on water such as fish, crocodile, and hippopotami. Number 2, animals live on land such as horses, dogs, and lions. Perfect. The diversity of plants. Plants are different from each other in many characteristics such as length and the size of leaves. First, we are going to talk about the length. We have huge trees and short weeds. About huge trees such as camphor and palm trees, as you see in this picture, and about the short weeds such as clover and gargir. After that, we are going to talk about the size of leaves. Plants carry large-sized leaves and plants carry small-sized leaves. First, plants carry large-sized leaves. Example, banana plant. And about the plant carry small-sized leaves such as molokhia plant. Perfect. And now we are going to talk about the diversity of microorganisms. First, the definition. They are living organisms that can be seen by the naked eye, but they spread everywhere around us in air, water, and soil. And don't forget that microorganisms exist in pond water and can be seen only by the microscope. To examine a drop of sand pond water, you should do this experiment, but we will do it in our session. But from the examination results, appearance of many living organisms, most of them are nurseries organisms such as amoeba, Euglonia, and Promisium. Microorganisms differ from each other in shape and the way of movement, as you see in these pictures. And moves in the movement of Euglonia and the Promisium movement. Give reason. Amoeba, Euglonia, and Promisium are classified as microorganisms because they are unicellular organisms that can be seen only by the microscope. Second, we are going to talk about the classification of living organisms. First, we are going to talk about the definition of taxonomy. It is the branch of biology that searches for the similarities and the differences among living organisms, and it places the similar ones in group according to a certain system in order to ease their study. Perfect. Plans of classification of living organisms. First, classification of plants according to external shape and the way of reproduction. And about the classification of animals according to the nature of body supporting, number of legs in arthropods, and finally, number of teeth in mammals. First, classification of plants. We will start with the classification of plants according to the external shape, or appearance into. First, some plants can be distinguished into roots, stem, and leaves. And number two, most of plants are distinguished into roots, stem, and leaves. First, example, algae. And we have many different types of algae, such as green algae, brown algae, and red algae. Perfect. Number two, most of plants are distinguished into roots, stem, and leaves. Example, maize or corn, wheat, palms, and camphor plants. Perfect. Number two, classification of plants according to their way of reproduction into. Plants reproduce by formation of spores or ferns, and number two, plants reproduce by formation of seeds. First, we will start with plants reproduce by formation of spores or ferns. Ferns are small plants reproduced by spores. And about the example, we have fougere and adiantum. Fougere and adiantum. This is spores of fougere plant and the spores of adiantum plant. How amazing. And now it's your turn. What is the meaning of taxonomy? We have 10 seconds. Brilliant, you're amazing. And now we're gonna talk about the plants reproduced by formation of seeds. We have two types of these plants. Number one, gymnosperms, and number two, angiosperms. Again, gymnosperms and angiosperms, or flowering plant. First, we'll start with gymnosperms. Their seeds are formed inside corns and not inside a precarp fruit envelope. For examples, pine plant and cycas plant. Pine plant and cycas plant, as you see in this picture. And about number two, angiosperms, a flowering plant. Their seeds are formed inside a precarp and they are divided into two types, which are number one, monocotyledons. Monocotyledons plant. Again, monocotyledons. Monocotyledons, such as maize plant and wheat plant. And number two, dicotyledon. Dicotyledon. Examples: maize plant and bean plant and pie plant. And don't forget that the plant of classification of living organisms, as we said, classification of plants according to external shape, as we said, and now we are going to talk about the way of reproduction. I'm so sorry, and now we are going to talk about the classification of animals according to nature of body supporting, number two, number of legs in arthropods, and number three, numbers of teeth in mammals. First, we will start with the classification of animals according to the nature of body supporting. are divided into animals with soft bodies and animals with supported bodies. First, animals with soft bodies, their bodies don't have support. Example: jellyfish, octopus, earthworm. Jellyfish, octopus, earthworm. Perfect. And now we are gonna talk about the animals with supported bodies, divided according to location of the support into animals with external support and animals with internal support. First, we will start with animals with external support, such as mussels and snails. Number two, animals with internal support. Vertebrate animals which have vertebral columns, such as fish, reptiles, birds, and mammals. Brilliant. No, don't forget that some animals are characterized by the presence of internal support and an external support, such as aquatic turtle. Second, talk about the classification of arthropods according to the number of legs. So first, the definition of arthropods. They are invertebrate animals that are characterized by the presence of jointed legs. And do you know that, my friend, arthropods are classified according to number of legs into insects, arachnids, and myriapods. Perfect. So first we will start with insects. Insects, they are characterized by the presence of 3 pairs of jointed legs. Examples: ants, bees, and flies. Number 2, arachnids. They are characterized by the presence of 4 pairs of jointed legs, such as, or examples, spiders and scorpions. And about the myriapods, they are characterized by the presence of numerous legs. Examples: Scolopendra and Gelius. Perfect. Look carefully at this table. Third, classification of mammals according to the presence of teeth. First, teethless mammals, such as sloth and armadillo. Number 2, mammals having teeth. They are divided according to the shape, the kind, and the number of teeth into: first, animals that have front teeth extending outward to capture insects. Number 2, animals that have pointed canines and molars with sharp projection, such as the lion, tiger, fox, and dogs. And third, animals that have sharp incisors. They are divided according to the number of incisors in each jaw into rodents and logomorphs. So first, they have 1 pair of incisors in each jaw, but the next type have 2 pairs of incisors in the upper jaw and 1 pair in the lower jaw, such as rabbits. Perfect. Look carefully at this table. talk about the natural classification of living organisms. First, we will start with the definition of species. Species. It is a group of more similar living organisms in shape that can produce to give birth of new fertile individuals that are able to reduce and keep the extent of a species. Perfect. Or it's a group of living organisms similar in shape and way of feeding and can reproduce. Note African, European, and Asian humans, whatever their colors, race, or home, are also beginning to one species, which is human. Give reason, it's possible to produce a fertile individual from mating of an African man by an Asian woman because both of them are the same kind. Perfect. About the enrichment information, donkey plus horse give us mole. The donkey and zebra produces a zonkey. Zonkey. And the donkey and horse produce mole. Mule. And now it's your turn. Close the odd word in each of the groups below. Lectus, mirkut, and spiders. Number 2, lion, tiger, dog, wolf. Number 3, beans by corn, vine, wheat. We have 10 seconds. Brilliant. You're amazing. And I think that's enough for today. And thank you so much. See you later. Goodbye.